Welcome back, guys, to another episode of my Shrewsbury Town career on FIFA 15. We're 13 games into the season. We do find ourselves in 6th, which is a playoff position, so not too bad there. And we're only 7 points behind the league leaders, Dagenham. Now, coming up very soon for Shrewsbury Town, we will be having to play Dagenham and also Southend, which, as you saw on the league table, are in the top 3, and they seem to be bossing the league at the moment. So if I could get Shrewsbury on a good run of winning games before those two fixtures, then I'm sure we'll be up there, top 3, top 2. So pushing on, Shrewsbury Town's next game in League 2 was away from home against Stevenage. I did make a few tweaks to the starting lineup, but I decided to keep James Wilson up front, as he found his shooting boots in the last episode. If any of you guys missed that, be sure to go back and check it out. He had a real lifer goal. I also decided to give Collins a start for Shrewsbury Town alongside Wilson, see if them two could maybe produce something, link up nicely, maybe get a little partnership going along there. And it would be James Collins that would open up the scoring for Town with just under 10 minutes gone of the game. And you're probably thinking, how the hell did he score that? I was thinking the exact same thing, because when you look at the replay here, you can see that Collins was put under so much pressure by Dembele, the big centre-half for Stevenage, almost pushing Collins out of the area, saying you don't belong here. But yet Collins remained resilient. I mean, look at the angle, the positioning of his body, it doesn't seem right. But yet the ball still found the back of the net, and his teammates on the bench really appreciated that goal. It was something special. Could be on for a goal of the season there. What do you guys think of that goal by James Collins? Stevenage looked to get back in the game moments later, and they might have had a fantastic chance of doing so if Beardsley had recovered from the shot he took just before Parrott tried to pass it through to him. Stevenage had a free kick outside the area, went for the far post, but Luella stood his ground and kept his team in the lead against Stevenage. Now Beardsley and Parrott linking up fantastically throughout this game for Stevenage, causing my back four a lot of problems. But it was Luella's performance in between the sticks for Shrewsbury Town which really raised some eyebrows. It was a world-class performance from him, and one that really should get him noticed. I mean, just look at all the opportunities that Stevenage had in the first half to get themselves level with Shrewsbury Town. They could have even got themselves in the lead if Luella was having an off day. In the second half, our lead could have been extended to 2 goals against Stevenage if Collins' effort had have gone across the line, but fortunately for Stevenage, the ball smacked against the crossbar and back out. In the 69th minute, Collins had another effort, but the keeper managed to parry for Stevenage, and take a look at that for an opportunity for Stevenage to get back in this game on the 84th minute. I did think that the goal line technology was going to come into play there, but it didn't, as you'll see why here on the replay. The ball actually touched the line, but it didn't go across. And look at Luella as well, preventing the ball from going into the back of the net, just punching it away to concede a corner. But at least that's better than actually conceding a goal, because we could defend that. And we had some nice link-up play there between Mangan and Collins, but Collins again was denied of getting his second goal of the game. But we did go on to beat Stevenage 1-0, so not a bad result in what was a bit of a scrappy game, but I think that goal by Collins kind of made up for it. I was happy to see this headline as well after the game, that Shrewsbury have found their new talisman in Aaron Wildig, who has been the man who has really stepped up his displays in recent times. Now, this was the league table after that win against Stevenage. We do move up to 5th with the game against Mansfield Town at home looming in the distance, and you can see that Mansfield, they are 10th. They've won 4 games, they've drew 7 and lost 3. Now, considering our recent form, you would think that we would go on to actually beat Mansfield. For some reason, before this game kicked off, I thought to myself, you know what, I could see this ending a draw, because when you look at Mansfield's record back at the league table, they've drew half their games so far this season, and they don't have a bad defensive record either. They've only conceded 13 goals, so it was going to be a tough game, let's put it that way, especially without the pace of Rangel down the right side. Jordan Clark had to come in to replace him in this one, but we did have Grealish starting. Luella pulled off some good saves in this game, as you just saw the first one there. You know, we could have found ourselves on the back foot so many times. Another chance there by Fisher. Header just going over into the crowd for a goal kick. Ankrak Pro, though, had a good chance for Shrewsbury in the 63rd minute. Just hits the side netting and goes out for a corner. we were certainly heading towards a draw in this game against Mansfield. But Weslowski, who's on a yellow card, gave the ball to Griff, who then passed that to Akpro, and he fired Shrewsbury Town into the lead, fired in the top right-hand corner with just over 10 minutes to go. I was then expecting Mansfield to come out of their shell and fire on all cylinders, looking for a point from this game, because it certainly looked like it throughout the first half and part of the second as well. But Grealish found Night Percival here, who struck the ball on his left foot with such venom that the keeper couldn't hold on to it, and it did go underneath him. Fortunately for their keeper, it didn't go into the back of the net and make their day even worse. Mansfield had the last chance of the game, as you just saw. Fisher with another effort on goal. It was a header too far out, not enough power behind it, as Luke Whaler saved with ease. And we went on to beat Mansfield at home 1-0. Another set of 3 points. Very happy with that as we continue to rise up the league table. Now, I did receive a bit of bad news, because James Wilson in that game picked up an injury, and it's now confirmed that he will be out for 3 weeks with a sprained knee. So that's a bit of a blow, but we've still got James Collins and also Akpro who can play up front alongside each other. But after that win against Mansfield, it catapults us up into 3rd place in the league. Very happy. Now, if we can keep that run going towards those 2 big games of the season against Southend and Dagenham, and if we can win those 2 games, then it's just looking even better for Shrewsbury Town, and our chances of getting promoted to League 1 will increase big time. I do want to try and avoid playoffs this season. If we have to go through playoffs, then so be it, but playoffs, they seem to... it strings out the season a bit more when I want to be getting on with the transfer window, and also getting ready for League 1 action, and just getting ourselves prepared for the new season ahead, basically. So, as you guys have already noticed, this is the squad report, and there's quite a few players that I've been pretty impressed with so far this season, including those loanees, especially James Wilson and Josh Feller, and Grealish as well from Aston Villa. Rangel as well, how could I forget him? They've really come into the team, and they've helped us out so much this season. Where would we be without them? That's the question. But the question I did ask myself was, what are we going to do at the end of the season when those players go back to their parent clubs? I'm going to have to be looking for replacements. So I sent out my scout, Teddy, over to Holland, see what he can come up with there. Maybe we can get a few wingers, maybe a new striker for when James Wilson goes. Something to look forward to and keep our eye on as the season develops. Our next game, once again in League 2, was to be played away from home. It was against Exeter. They are another team that really we should be beating. Just like Mansfield, you know, they're not doing the best in the league. Exeter were in 15th at this point before we kicked off. These are the games as well that really we should be winning if we want to make sure that we're getting promoted next season to League 1. But Exeter, though, they came out the blocks looking to get their season well and truly underway. And Davis down the left-hand side here for Exeter, with a step over here and there, fooled Woods, whipped in the cross, and it would be Cummins that would let Exeter down with that poor finish. But Exeter had another opportunity to put themselves in the lead from that shot by Ribeiro. He was offside as the ball hammered against the post. I did have to take Wildig off as he had picked up an injury, and I replaced him with Josh Vela, the loanee from Bolton. Come the second half, Rangel, who had returned from injury, I forgot to mention that, had a great effort on goal, beating the keeper, but the ball rattled against the crossbar. Seems to be a bit of a pattern developing here. I just can't seem to find the back of the net at the moment. And how Exeter were keeping themselves in this game, it was beyond me. Rangel down the right side again. We needed a few more runs from him, and we played a nice simple passing game outside, and it would be Goldson. It was all out attack for Shrewsbury Town because time was up, and that was our last chance, and it came from our centre half, and it just wasn't good enough, and the game ended 0-0. So we came away with just a point. Really, we should have been winning that game, no excuse whatsoever. But it was straight on to our next game in League 2. Finally, we were playing back at the Greenhouse Meadow. It was against Burton Albion. Now, I decided to stick with the same starting 11. Yes, there were just the odd 1 or 2 changes. Rangel's back in the team. He was fully fit for this one against Burton. down that right side. It's good to see him back, as he had such a fantastic start to his loan at Shrewsbury Town. And James Wilson unfortunately couldn't start this game. He's still out with that sprained knee, which will see him out for 3-4 weeks. Now, Weslowski had a great effort on goal there for Shrewsbury Town. Could see the keeper off the line. Tried to maybe go for the chip. Well, it wasn't really a chip, it was a shot, but it looked like it was going to dip in. I really thought there as well that maybe Akpro could have got on the end of that and just tapped it in, maybe lift up his boot, and it was a poor finish in the end by Josh Vella. Kind of expected better of him there, and Rangel, with the pace and the quick movement from him, tried to take it down the right side, and I kind of lured McElroy into the challenge. I knew he was already on a yellow card, and just before half-time the ref comes storming over and gives him a second, which means he was sent off. And to be fair, it was a nasty challenge. There was no intention to actually go for the ball, so Burton would be down to 10 men for the rest of the game. And with just 5 minutes to go, they took the ball to the flag. It's very frustrating when that happens. I'm not sure if any of you guys have come across it. I'm sure you have. It is frustrating, and I did go in with a nasty challenge because I was getting annoyed. And that's all you can do, really. And they're just luring you in. The AI is luring you in to do something silly like that. And we gave away a free kick here. 2 men in the wall. Probably could have had one, actually, watching this footage back. But they came so close to making it 1-0. It could have ended up into the back of the net. But with just seconds to go, I was very surprised the ref hadn't blew his whistle by now. Grealish, loanee from Aston Villa, had an effort on goal. I was so surprised that he was allowed space and time to actually ping that shot off. But the keeper parried it away, and the ball landed to the head of James Collins, who put Shrewsbury Town into the lead. And that would be the game right there for Shrewsbury Town. There would be no way back in it for Burton. I know there weren't many goals in this episode, guys, but you know what? I think we're doing pretty good at the moment in the league. We're in a playoff slot. In the next episode, guys, you will see the highlights from those big games against Portsmouth, Southend and Dagenham. I'll see you all there. Thanks for watching.